All right, this is chapter 4, lesson 6, and it's all about problem solving. And so if you look at this strategy, it's solve a simpler problem. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to take a big problem and break it into smaller problems. Okay, and I'm totally losing my voice, so I'm going to try to do my best here. So I know that since I know it's going to be a really big thing, I have binder paper here to write down my work. So I'm going to write number 1 because we'll do number 1 together, and we'll also do number 4 together. So Mr. Santiago has a flight from New York to Paris that covers a distance of 3,640 miles in 7 hours. If the plane travels at the same speed per hour, how many miles will it have traveled after 4 hours? So when I look at problems like this, as a kid, I hated word problems. I really, really did, because I just read all this information and it made no sense. So what we're looking for, since we know there's a simpler problem somewhere in here, is we're looking for what we need to know and what we have to do to get there. So again, let's look again. Mr. Santiago has a flight from New York to Paris that covers a total of 3,640 miles in 7 hours, not 7 minutes. That'd be crazy. So that's one thing right there. Okay, so this is important. If the plane travels at the same speed per hour, hey, that's important too. Every hour is going to be the same speed. So I already know that now I have to divide 3,640 divided by 7 to know how many miles per hour it's going. So then it says, how many miles will it have traveled after 4 hours? Well, this is problem number 2. So this is problem 2. Here's problem 1. So we're breaking it into something smaller. So first of all, we have 3,640 miles that have been covered in 7 hours. So let's find out how many miles per hour. So that's what we're looking for right here, okay? So 7 does not go into 3, but 7 will go into 36 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. Subtract it out, you have a 1. Bring down that 4. 7 goes into 14 twice. 2 times 7 is 14. Remainder of 0, but I gotta bring down that other 0. 7 goes into 0 times. So right now we know that the plane will travel 520 miles per hour. So now we want to know how many miles it's going to go after 4 hours. So we're going to do 520 miles times 4 hours. So 0 times 4 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 5 is 20. So the plane will go 2,080 miles per hour, per 4 hours. Okay, so up here we want to know how many miles will it have traveled after 4 hours. So it's 2,080 miles is how much it's going to travel after 4 hours. Okay, number 4. This one is the same thing. So binder paper is going to be your friend here, guys, because you're going to need some space. So I'm drawing that line again so that my number 1 is totally organized here. Number 4 is going to be totally organized here. All right, so let's look for what we know and what we need to know. The Clearview Window Washing Company has a contract to wash 3,082 windows on a 23-story building. The company will wash the windows on the first 3 floors on the first day. If there are the same number of windows on each floor, how many windows will the company wash on the first day? Okay, so again, let's go through and figure out what we know, what we need to know. So the contract is to wash 3,082 windows, which are on a 23-story building, so that's important. Okay, the company will wash the windows on the first 3 floors on the first day. If there are the same number of windows on each floor, how many windows will the company wash on the first day? Well, first of all, we need to know how many are on each floor. So we'll start by doing 3,082 divided by 23. And that's going to tell us how many are on each floor. So, in fact, I'm going to write windows on each floor is what this is going to tell me. So 23 will not go into 3, but it will go into 30 one time. 1 times 23 is 3. Subtract that out, and that gives me 70, or 7. Bring down the 8. Okay? Now, I'm going to say 20, 40, 60. I'm going to say 23 goes in to 78 3 times. We'll try that out. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. That's very close. So that gives me 69. Okay, let's subtract it out. Bottom bigger borrow, so it's 18 minus 9 is 9. Bring down the 2. Now I have 92 here, and I have my bank over here, so I can go, well, I need to go a little bigger, so let's try 24 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Uh-oh, did I do that wrong? Because that's way too big. Let's check it again. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So nope, I did it right. So let's go ahead and use 3. We know 3 times 23 is 69. And subtract it out. Bottom bigger borrow. 12 minus 9 is 3. 8 minus 6 is 2. So there are 23 windows per floor. So this is an important number. Don't lose that. Now, that was the simpler problem, even though it may not have seemed like a simpler problem. But the next part of the problem is it says the company will wash the windows on the first 3 floors on the first day. And we want to know how many were washed on the first day. So you do 23 windows per floor times those 3 floors. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. So on the first day, there were a total of 60. Oh my gosh, I just checked for reasonableness and I thought, what is wrong with me? And I really realized your teacher is losing it. She must be very tired. We don't want to talk about the remainder. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I had a remainder of 23, which was also up here, because you can't have a remainder of windows. So basically, I messed up somewhere here. So, my goodness, we have to start over a little bit right here. So, somewhere there was a mistake made. So I'm just looking to see what I did. So let's start over. We have 3,082 divided by 23. Now, let me tell you, it might seem weird that your teacher makes a mistake, but all teachers make mistakes because all humans make mistakes, right? And when you're doing these problems, you're going to have issues like this. So let's start over. 1 times 23 is 23. So it gives us a remainder of 7. Bring down our 8. So somewhere right here is where we had a problem. So let's see. I'm going to do 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2. Okay. So now let's divide again. Or excuse me, subtract again. 92. So we're still going to use that 69 because that would make the most sense. So 3 times 3 is 9. 6. So that's not right. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was going crazy. I figured out my problem was up here. I had the wrong number. I did 24 instead of 23. So obviously that was what messed me up. Oh my goodness. So let's go back over here. I knew there was something wrong. Couldn't figure it out. Okay, so we have 23 times 4 is what we want to do. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Perfect. So it's 134. Now we're on the right track. Okay, so now it's 134 windows per floor. But we're not done. So now we have to do 134 windows on 3 separate floors of the building. So 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. 3 times 3 is 3 plus 1 is 4, and that is the correct number. So it's 402 windows. Oh my goodness. So on the first day, they washed 402 windows. All right, let us know if you guys need help. And obviously you're going to, because you'll probably be like me and make some kind of silly mistake and it messes you all up. Good luck.